Hello.
Hi,
Hi, everybody. And
how are you all doing?
we're good.
Hello, hello.
Sheila. Sheila. Anyway, welcome once again. It's Sunday, and we're here live with YAA, and the author of Reflections for a Thirsty Soul. And today we're, well, recently our discussions have been on the book that is yet to come out, The Woman's Heart. And today, what's the topic?
Dear woman, God sees you in your brokenness. Oh, hang on, I'll pull it up.
Yes. So today, the topic is Dear Woman, God sees you in your brokenness. And we're going to talk about the various brokenness. There's lots, there's not just one type. So I'll read a bit and then we'll go into the various types of brokenness and what we can do and what God tells us about that. Okay. Okay, so dear woman, God sees you in your brokenness. Pain, hurt, brokenness, rejection, fear, and anxiety. When your heart is broken into so many pieces like shards of glass, hand over those pieces to the Lord. Only He can put the pieces back together. He is the soothing balm of Gilead. Who can comfort you like He does? Oh, you broken woman, fret no longer. He sees you. He is the Jehovah Elroy who saw Hagar in all her desolation and anguish. Will He not see you? And then we go into number one is the tired woman. Okay, I'll go through the various kinds and and then we'll pick it one by one and discuss it. So, yeah. The tired woman who has given her all, no, who has given her all with no results. Oh, sorry. The way I was reading, I couldn't even understand.
Okay,
Okay, rewind. Let's go again. The
all
tired
right.
woman who has given her all with no result. He sees you. The abused woman whose self esteem has been whittled to nothing. You are worthy in his eyes. The perfectionist who thinks she will be loved only when she performs, sees your striving. He knows you. You have nothing to prove to him. He sees you, my dear. The lonely woman who feels bereft, no one to reach out to, who puts on a facade to give the impression that all is well when it is not. The people pleaser, trying so hard to please people but to no avail. You also sees your clamoring. He knows who you are. Okay, so far we got 5. There's more, but I think we can start with that and then see if there'll be time to finish it today. But if not, we'll just continue next week. So, as usual, Auntie, actually, when I read it, I saw myself in, okay, in 4 of those. I think sometimes those were like occasional, but sometimes like some of it was Um, kind of permanent.
Mm-hmm.
I always find myself in. Is it the same for you? Is that why you wrote this piece?
Um, for me, like I was saying before, I find that, and this is my story, so my opinion,
Okay.
women, as women, we have a lot of problems. And I'm speaking based on my experiences,
Yeah.
and especially from the environment in which we come from. It
Hmm.
seems like um, we embrace mediocrity, be mediocre, be average. Oh, and how? Don't worry yourself too much. So
Yeah.
anybody who tries hard or has standards or pushes themselves, you run into a lot of problems from other people. And for me too, based on experiences that I had when you were a child, nobody per se is there protecting you in terms of you being able to voice out your feelings, how you feel about any situation.
Right.
In our environment, it's always, oh, oh yeah, Kola, you're a kid. The adult is right, so there's just ways that everything is glossed over. So we don't acknowledge anything. So when you see people acting in certain ways towards you, you know it's not right, but you can't quite put your finger on it.
Hmm.
And so if you're not careful, you just allow people to get away with murder.
Yeah.
And they think that they can treat you anyhow they like and get away with it. So
Mhm.
if you are, the knowledge about these types of people, so if it's at the back of your mind and you see them or you run into them in any interactions, then you go, oh, okay, this is what we're dealing with. And then
Right.
you yourself find some skills or coping, as Adra would say, coping mechanisms to deal with that person. You know how you relate to those people.
Yeah. Okay. Sheila. Shayla. Sorry.
Shaila, you are
Shayla.
lost. You are lost now.
Um, what were you thinking like when you read it?
You
Oh,
too.
you're muted.
Oh, so yeah, I got it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Um, just as you said, I find myself in some areas.
Yeah. Okay. So
um,
we'll pick the tired woman.
okay,
The tired
yeah.
woman is the woman who has given her all,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no results.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because she doesn't ask for help? Like, who is the tired
She's not
woman?
appreciated.
Like,
Somebody
oh,
who she
Yeah.
gives everything. She gives her all, does everything, but she's not appreciated. It
mm,
could be the husband, it could be the children. Some women have put themselves in that position that they have to be the end all and be all for everybody in their family. So they are running around doing everything
mm-hmm,
instead of asking for help. And when you do that too much too, there's an extreme to it. You lose respect. People don't value your services because they know you should always be there. She'll always be there giving those services. So, it's taken for granted.
taken for granted. Yeah, that's what.
And you
Well,
feel tired, you feel fatigued, but you have no way out. You've put yourself in that position. You
right.
drop kids off to school in the morning, you come home, kikri, kikri, kikri. Everything has to be this, everything has to be that, running around, running around.
Mm-hmm,
I
Hello, I
think I
can't.
also I will
Mm-hmm,
add to that by saying you do that and you forget about yourself.
exactly.
So if you forget about yourself, it's more like you don't really know. It's like you don't even know what you are doing, but you are doing. You feel like you are doing something,
By rote.
and you don't know because you are not paying
yeah.
attention to yourself to listen to yourself. It overwhelm you, so
Mm-hmm,
you are tired. So if you find yourself like that, you could see that things that you're not supposed to yell at, you are yelling at
Mm,
things that you're not supposed to talk about, you're
very
talking
angry.
about it, and you don't have to be mad. You are being mad, and if it's affecting people out there, and you all that you think is you are doing you, the focus, you're not seeing anything wrong.
mm,
of what you are doing. You are just doing, trying to impress too much. You get
Mama Jo,
lost
your voice is a bit
of
low.
it all.
Your voice is a bit low, so I don't know if people can hear you.
Oh,
Oh,
I can hear.
I can, but
you
I'm
can
saying
hear
that.
properly,
It's
right?
so low.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Is it okay now?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So meaning you don't have to you. I think we talked about this a while ago that you have to look back and listen to yourself as well, so that you are not too or you don't get lost in whatever it is that you are doing. So
Mm-hmm.
this is why you have to pay listening to yourself and paying attention. I'm too overtired. Why am I too overtired?
Mm-hmm.
I am doing too much. I don't feel like I'm being appreciated. But until yeah, funny enough, the moment you feel like you are not, you are not doing enough or you are doing all you could and nobody is paying attention, that is a wake up call, though. I
Yeah,
think
you
that is
should
when
know.
if you feel like yeah,
It's true.
mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's a moment where you just tell yourself that I've had it up to here, like
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah.
But sometimes too, you're forced to do it because the situation is such that if you don't do it, your partner is not gonna do it.
But um, yeah, I hear you. But should you like sometimes maybe you should also just let it sit. Let it sit there, right?
Where okay, for example, if you're the let's say the breadwinner, the woman is the breadwinner,
Mm-hmm.
and the woman and the man doesn't really bring a lot home, but is busy,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Busy. What? How busy? What do you mean busy?
Okay, let's say he acts busy. He goes out every morning. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to hustle. Okay, that's the word that they usually use. He's hustling. It's not like he's sitting on his
Mm-hmm.
ass, right? He's hustling, but it's not also bringing in too much.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't
Like
say
for
for
example,
Mhm.
he go out and say I'm looking for a job,
Hello,
and
Miss
then he'll come
Bridget.
back without a job. Hi,
Right.
Miss Williams. You go, you get up the next day, you are gone. You are thinking, oh, he's looking for a job. Probably today will be better. You come back the same.
And usually they don't even stay home. They can't, the woman is busy
Okay.
That's a good one.
because in that instance you can't say you're leaving the children in school. You have to go pick them up, right?
Yeah.
You can't.
Mm-hmm.
Is that enough? You would have to go because I remember there was a point that I was so exhausted that I was asking when I was in Ghana. I said, I don't know anybody in the village. I really would want to go spend like a week in the village where I wouldn't have to think about anything, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get that because I didn't know anybody to go to. She's busy bringing.
At least
Let
you
me
listen to
go.
yourself. Meaning
Well,
you finally listen to yourself and you want to get out. That's a
well, I
sign.
needed rest, but it doesn't mean that I stopped working or I stopped doing whatever I was doing.
Yeah.
But I actually knew that I needed a break, you know?
Yeah, that is a good thing. But here's the case: some people would not even think that, oh, maybe I need a break in between to rest or anything. They will just keep on and on, forget all about yourself, and just be doing it, hurting people on the way, hoping, fighting, telling yourself, I'm trying, people get it,
Yeah,
and then they are not getting it because you are exhausted and you are you are doing overdoing.
True, true.
it's true. And most of the time, too, the children that we feel we're doing this for, we end up hurting them instead.
Yes.
Because,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm frustrated and
Yeah.
yelling at them.
Mhm.
Exactly. That's what
Unnecessarily.
it is.
Anyway, the abused woman. Well, when you say abused, usually people think about physical only, but the mental one is even serious. more
Yeah,
serious.
that's
Whose
emotional too.
self-esteem, yeah, has been
Mhm.
whittled to nothing. You're worthy in his eyes. So the
Yeah,
abused one.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Well,
um.
who's going?
Oh,
The
yeah.
abused woman who doesn't know he's being abused,
Well, that's
Mm,
true. That's
right?
even more serious.
mm,
Mm-hmm.
Especially the emotional. You overdo.
mm,
The emotional ones, people really don't realize it.
mhm.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
much. That's
very good. Self-care is essential to the caregiver. Bam, that
true.
is true.
Very true. Else you break down.
Yeah. You see, the thing is, how do we end up in these situations? Is it that sometimes we don't know, like we were brought up a certain way, or were you nurtured self-esteem? Because if you believe in yourself and you trust in yourself, I mean, it seems simple to say it. This is a simplistic way of putting it, but this is just basic talk, right?
Hmm.
So, yeah, Mamla is saying what you were saying. Physical, psychological is but most dangerous. Yep.
Yes, very
So
dangerous.
it's like um, you take anything that is dished out to you because you don't know any better. There are men, okay, from our community who insult their wives, kwasiaba, jimifo. They say all kinds of things to them. And these women think it's okay. They think it's okay because in the culture, it seems like you're groomed to serve men. So
Mm,
our area, everything seems to be up to the woman. We can't speak a certain truth. Thank you.
that's true.
Mhm. So even if it's become so much because you allowed it to happen and you didn't stand up for yourself, it's gone on and on and on. You think it's normal. That's how I think about it.
Yeah, so it starts in the home where you're brought up, right? Because
Yes, yes.
even for you to because usually when you stand up to them, then it moves to the physical abuse. I'm still staying.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not an expert, but when I hear stories like that of abuse, it really, really bothers me. Like it bothers me because I don't understand why a woman should feel that they are nothing, or because the only reason they're on this earth is to cater to a man. So they should put up with anything that he dishes out. What happened to love, respect, honor in the marriage or in the relationship, whatever it is?
Right.
So, maybe you don't put value on yourself, so you accept anything that happens to you.
Some of the abuse is not cut and dry. It's kind of in a gray area. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you want to read that
Oh,
old
yes. Sister,
one,
yeah, I believe we don't know because take these elections, for instance, most are fighting for politicians, and the point of political, systemic, and social injustice is being overlooked. Yes, that's true. Mhm.
yeah, and an example will be um I was in a
And
relationship where
We overlook the truth. We overlook the truth.
that's what he said. We can't speak a certain truth. So,
yeah, where I wasn't insulted, not
mm,
not directly like insults, but every time he would come and you've done something, he puts it down. He would not
mhm,
do it, but when you do it, he puts it down. And
mm,
like when it happens continuously, it does get to you.
yes.
You know, it does get to you.
And yeah, there are some people they don't see anything good. They won't tell you when you've done something
I,
good. It's always the wrong, the negative that they'll point out. And
Right.
sometimes maybe it's your upbringing, but you got to change something.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will I will give an example of myself. I
Yeah.
had m- my boy was 2, and he was so fascinated about little boy, my neighbor who had a motorbike. So I was, oh, he loves this motorbike because you have to charge it and it will be moving. So he kind of fell in love with it. So I purchased one online and then it came. I fixed everything. I fixed my bed, wardrobe, whatever. Just bring it in. Once I have the manual, I'm fixing. So I feel like I have fixed and fixed and fixed, but with that motorbike, I refused to fix it. I don't know why. Nothing was pushing me to fix it. So the motorbike came and it was there. And my ex will go and come back. He sees it and nothing. And I felt like because I faced everything, nothing was actually pushing him because she will fix it. But that time I had mentally noted already that I am not going to fix it and I will see if he will do it.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't. He wouldn't. He will come, sees it, and go. He will come, sees it, and go. Until I realized that is he actually waiting for me to tell him? And then
Yes.
I later on said, okay, finally, I have to say it. So this had been here. We bought this when my son was barely 2.
Hmm.
He's almost 3. And this thing is still here. Why? Because I haven't fixed it. So I just said it and I threw it in the way. A word to a wise is enough.
Hmm.
But he still looked it. That bike stayed there until he finally said, "You know what? I'm down and I'm done and I'm gone." A neighbor, a neighbor. So my bike grew up to be like 5 years. That thing was still in that box until I got separated and have a neighbor help me. It's not like I didn't even want to face, but I had it up to here and I was so mad that I didn't even want to touch it until he went out to play a bike. A neighbor fixed the wheel of the bike. He came back and said, "Mommy, the neighbor is good. Maybe he'll help us fix this." And then the neighbor helped us fix it before he was able. So yeah, that's how it is. It's like you do it, and well, oh, of course she would do it because she's been doing it. So I blame myself in that part too. Things that belong to men, I should have let him do instead of me doing and doing. So yeah, do I blame him? No, I blame
Yeah.
myself for doing too much.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So Mamle says because socially we further victimize and attack victims. Most tend to be timid and mute because of what others will say. Then they are dying within. It's true. It's
Very-
happening a lot. Yeah, it's
Well,
very true.
But it's all
that
from
too.
the self-esteem, the root cause of it all, eh?
Hmm. Because there are
The
people who
self,
won't put
because
up with that.
what?
I said there are people who won't put up with that.
Yeah, yeah. And I was reading somewhere and about feeling worthy, and it said that you have to connect to something bigger than you, and they cited God, a higher
Mm-hmm.
power,
Mm-hmm.
in order to feel worthy, because naturally we have this empty void
Yes, that's
in
true.
us that only God
Yeah.
can fill it. Yeah, we spend our lives trying to fill it with the masculine things.
Anyone, that's
But
all.
then that is if you believe in God, though. Is that not it?
Well, that's why I said a higher power.
Power,
Okay.
Yeah.
whatever that means
So
to
for
you.
Christians, that's
So that
God.
is whatever it is that you believe in, that is higher power
Mm,
for you. Is that it?
Yeah,
mm,
because all of us we have a void, and that one is
Yeah,
a
for
given.
sure.
Yeah,
Mm.
and we try to fill it with whatever we feel will help fill that void. But
mhm.
so far, I have found that only God can fill that void and fill it well.
Yes, it's true. That is correct. Mm.
Yeah.
But
Um,
it's this talking of this, what we were talking about, the abuse thing, it's
mhm,
just right now a matter of like anybody who's in any position of responsibility, especially where young girls are concerned. This
mhm.
is where you have to be teaching them to value themselves so they don't run into these problems. Because you know that there's even teenagers who are being abused around us here
Oh,
because
yeah.
of relationships. Talking, oh, you're dumb, oh, you're this. That's what their boyfriend will be telling them all kinds of things, and they're putting up with.
Oh, I've been in the ladies' bathroom in like bars, and
In,
it's very like pathetic, like
Yeah.
in
because
where?
Mhm.
like bar,
Oh,
B,
okay. Yeah.
yeah. And these young girls, they would come and she'll be crying. I know he's cheating, but I still love him. And I said, oh my God.
Yeah,
And
we hear
sometimes
Yeah.
that
you
a
have
lot.
a friend telling them not to go, and they still want to go with this guy. And
Mm,
sometimes someone would come and say, I don't feel beautiful. It's really serious.
mm,
It is very serious. It is.
Yeah. The number
mm,
of yes, the restrooms, there are a lot of things going on in there.
mhm,
Sometimes I spend like 30 minutes in there talking to someone.
mhm,
It's very
Just to
sad.
listen to their conversations.
Well,
mm,
yeah, 'cause they are younger, and
mhm.
Yeah,
it's sad,
I know.
Yeah.
I don't
So
feel
normally things
It
we
is
all do,
sad.
but finding our purpose and existence can
But
help you fill the
but
void in a healthy way.
healthy way.
but
Yeah.
the good thing is, at least we hear them say, right? But we are
Hmm.
from the generation whereby we don't even hear anything. Nobody says at all. There's a
That's true.
difference.
Mhm,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
mm,
And they need guidance to discover themselves.
mm,
In our
Guidance.
way, in our own, it's like you told a friend, and a friend is gossiping with somebody, and they are rather laughing at you rather than to see the how what the pain you are going through. We don't analyze our friend is hurting, but rather we find it to be, oh, let me take it and go gossip about it, forgetting
Yeah,
that she was hurting coming to me.
I guess
Um,
that's why
it's
people
quite
don't
bad.
want to talk about it too.
mm,
Yes.
So choose your
Yeah.
friends wisely.
mm.
Yeah.
Because me, I have one person who knows everything about me, all the good, the bad, and everything.
Ugly.
And I have one
And they're
cousin
okay.
who also knows, and
Mhm,
I know I can trust them because yeah, it's been a long journey with them.
mhm.
Yeah. Anyway, um, so the abused woman. Are we done with that? Is there anything
Mhm.
else someone wants
Mm.
to add to the abused woman?
Well, I guess it involves sitting down and taking stock, right? Like you have to. Well, it's hard. A lot of things happen. A lot of it is psychological, and they are so used to being in that situation, it's become normal. It might be difficult to get out, but
Yeah.
if you really want to, and you sit down and you take stock or ask for help from outside, maybe people may point you into the right direction, like resources that are available to help you to get out of that situation. But
Mm.
otherwise, so because usually
But
if you're
auntie,
in this,
yeah.
mm,
But auntie, that is only if you know I've been abused and I want to get out. Yeah, it's a matter of you knowing and
Don't see
realizing
it
that
as an
what
abuse.
is being, yeah, what is being happening to me now? Is it right? Is it
mhm,
okay? The painful part is you exhaust it. You accept it. It goes and goes and goes. So the only part solutions have to come in it if you have now accepted it that okay, I don't want this anymore.
mhm,
That is whether you started talking about it and it's now a
mhm,
problem and the third party have to come in or
mhm,
something, right?
Yeah,
mhm.
So
some
if
are.
you're being abused, do you know? Have you come back to? Mhm. Okay, go ahead.
I thought you hadn't finished.
It's okay. You came in with you were
No,
coming in with something, so
what
it's
you
okay.
were
Go ahead.
saying that brought to mind something because yes, that's true because some women don't see it as being abused, and I don't know what the background of those kind of women are, but I've met some who feel that when a man beats you, it means they love you because after that there's makeup sex and it's even better than sex when they
It's
are on
good,
good
according to them.
right. So I don't know if it's because of what they saw growing up, or
Mhm.
I don't know how they get there, you know.
Yeah.
So it's true.
Whatever it is that pushed them there is what pushed them there, because we are also from a generation whereby if you come home to, it's not long ago somebody died in Ghana and they said the husband has been beating her. This one is not even emotional but physical. And whenever she rushed home, the mother will say, what's mercy? She mercy, aso papa, aso for aso dear, and come back. You see, so
So she killed her own daughter. Not even the
Yeah,
mother.
yeah,
The
yeah,
mother who killed her own daughter.
exactly. So you see why some people, yeah, me mommy crash him now, especially those mommy for me, because mukasa awaria na better. The way they will say you, then you go back and then accept it as it is. So you see,
I
it's
think it's
where
a
we are
question of
coming from.
women learning to stand up to these parents who push you to stay in relationships,
exactly.
because
Yeah.
you are not the one, they are not the ones in the relationship. And poverty should not make you sell your child for $1 or whatever, or a
No,
CD,
they don't
whatever it
see
is.
it. Do they even see that they are selling you to them? Share. I mean, I make catch them. Some cotton na me cotton.
No.
So also cotton na. But
Yeah.
my question here is
Hamlet had a
something that
comment.
wasn't good for you. Why do you want it to happen to your daughter? That is something I don't understand. They will tell
Look,
you it wasn't better. Omo anye ya mo, but omo person
look,
also quite enjoy it. That is what I
look,
don't
Mm.
get.
look, Amajo, the older generation, this is how I see it.
Yes.
I'll use my favorite term again. They are kataso. You can't speak the truth to them.
Too
If the truth is
much.
staring them in the face,
Too
but
much.
they'll tell you there's something different. Oh, and actually, it's not that. Let's pretend it's this for keeping of the peace.
Yeah.
And so, me, I can't live like that. So I stay away from those kinds of things because you can't come and lie to me. I'm seeing blue, and then you tell me I should say it's yellow. Like that is serious. I'm going to
Imagine
read
you
Mom's
ran
comment.
away and then you
He said,
came. Imagine you
how,
ran away from wherever you come, you came home. Then would you say, well, you ran away, so like they will say, let's go and settle the case. It's all about settlement, not thinking what you are going through.
oh, well, let me read this. How dare you talk about such feelings? It's like parental alienation. Most see it as normal. Are you the only one who went through such thing? You are perceived as nuisance. So awareness, as we are all doing. It's
Thank you,
true.
It's
family.
true. It's
It's
true.
true.
Well said.
It's true.
Very true.
Do you know what I find?
Yeah.
It seems like we are this society that we lack empathy, we lack sympathy. Our emotions are
Oh
not
yes.
very developed because
Oh
everything
yes.
is we laugh at it. Oh, should the ochre na bema na uti ho na uyirebo. Ha ha ha. What they
And
ready?
Auntie, what do we do if you lack empathy? Self-respect. Because we don't
That.
respect, we don't
Look,
have
we
no
don't
empathy
our
for
emotions.
nobody.
Our emotions are not
Yeah.
developed. We were not, this is what I was saying earlier, that we were not taught to acknowledge how we feel about anything. Even when you are starting to speak about something, your mom will
No.
tell you, shut up,
Yeah.
be quiet, don't leave it alone, shut up, be quiet. You know,
Hmm.
I don't know. We
Yeah.
don't, it's you know what? It's from our
Yeah.
foundation. And the basic principle that we refuse to acknowledge the truth in our emotions, in whatever we're going through. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
will talk about it. It's just we're just walking around. Look, I'm going to say a story. Maybe you might not relate to it, or it might not, but to me it seemed, I have a family member, my husband's niece. So when we were in Ghana, she came over with another nephew, my husband's nephew, and she had a little boy and somebody, a lady, young lady who helps her. So she's introducing everybody to us, and I'm saying hello to the young girl. Ojinaho busi, like no reaction, no nothing. No, you ask yourself, no, seriously, you ask
How
yourself, you ask
incredible.
yourself, so this person, what happened to them that they can't even show any body? So I'm looking, I'm like, hey, and you see a lot of them like that, no emotion, boom, bust, boom. We stuff a lot. No, serious. I'm a Joe, because we went in the
Hmm.
classroom. The children, oh, how are you feeling? Oh, how are you this? It's like, oh,
I'm here to say that with you, no.
yeah. We don't know how. We don't say, oh, brush off. You say, even if you are with your spouse, when you say something is, oh, no, say, oh, blah blah blah. Oh, it's not like that. We don't acknowledge
Mhm.
anything. We don't, you need to take it out, put it down and look at it and work on it, not
Mm-hmm.
just going through life like a zombie. No.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Every
Yeah.
day.
Of
Mm,
course,
Don't pay
every
attention to what goes
day.
on every and say something about different levels of perception. It's
yeah.
serious. We have a serious problem. Like it's like the Mr. Addison, he's on Facebook, emotional intelligence. Every time, like, wow, I always say, gee, he might be the first person to actually be. Is there anybody like him around there? Like,
Hmm.
were we told about this emotional intelligence?
No.
If you have emotional intelligence, you come and sit on Facebook and be insulting people. You call them and have a
Auntie, at this,
conversation.
auntie, at this
So,
boom, that you are asking the people and they were just looking at you like that. Let me make myself an example. Before I would travel, I would say I was so much of a protective of myself and my things. You don't have to touch my back. You don't have to touch my cup. I was just too, I think I did it too much. And if you live with us, I'm not looking at your face. So I would say some people live with us that I couldn't even mention their names or talk to, but I know them very well. And
Hmm.
they also knew that. So when I traveled to Canada and going home after 5 years, I think they said two of them said, even here, she never even look at me or call my name. Now that he
Hmm.
traveled to abroad, coming down back, would he even acknowledge my presence? They said that is what they said. And look at the new me. Hey, brother, how are you? And they were like seriously. So,
what?
so you see so the difference. Somebody is taking my bag. Oh yeah, I just take my bag. They were like really is that her? So you see, my auntie have to say over there. Abroche now sis I will say. So you see,
That is true.
You know
so
that
yes,
they
it's a lot. The situation or maybe why is it why was I like that? I don't want to be nice for you to call me names, my long leg, my long face, and the freckles. I don't want you to. So I'm protecting myself in the way whereby I wouldn't be. You see, no,
mm,
it's that's what it is. Some people they would just say, "I'll better shut up and not even respond." Not because they don't want to, but maybe they said something. Somebody make it a name out of them, and that has become their name forever. As we were talking about last time, those are
yeah.
the things. One way or the other,
Hmm.
you have to change. You have to see a different things. Find yourself leverage to change before you can know that. Oh, so not knowing what I was doing was just too much. You know.
Yeah, and the keeping up appearances too. Because when you're a divorcee, it's kind of like there's a stigma,
Mhm.
Oh
especially
yeah,
with the women. So
They
it's a
think
that's
you're
why
big
coming
deal,
for
right?
their man.
parents also what
They think you're coming for their man.
one that's true,
So they
and then
keep
also why the parents
well,
also don't want to because it's like you've tarnished the name of the family kind of thing, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Without thinking about
It's all about it's all about what people will say about you. Oh,
yeah,
it's all
but
about
why do
what
we
people
worry
will
about what
say.
people would say about us?
I have no clue.
Yeah, we are more concerned about what people will say rather than what we will say.
Hmm. If you want to come and tell me what to do, I wrote a comment on Facebook. Come into my body and take over. Because you want to tell me how to do everything. I can't think for myself. How?
I think yeah, Twitter
Yeah.
is even worse.
What do you mean?
The insult on
Hey,
Twitter.
hey.
Facebook
I'm
is tell
I'm not that much
my son,
relevant on my Twitter,
my son
so
told me about it, so I followed a lot of Ghanaians just so I could have a look at it. And oh my God, it's horrible.
Hmm.
Yeah, every
oh
divorce.
true. Self
Yeah,
That's
self-realization. Yep,
realization. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
it's true.
Yeah.
very true. I'm an example.
But what about like all these insults? What is anyway? Let's carry on. I don't know. That's another topic.
That's it. They said freedom of speech.
Stigma and family values got me to not leave. Yes, you
To
see,
not
yeah,
have to, yeah.
yeah, pressure.
Yeah.
Mm,
It's too much family pressure in these situations. Mm.
yeah. But that's one lesson that I learned from, not from someone teaching me, but from conversation that I eavesdropped. I had
Mhm.
two things that I learned from those conversations. Yes, yes, sorry.
I couldn't
It was,
help myself,
it
Mamle.
was public. I thought it was a private message.
No, no,
It
no,
was actually the public
no.
on the.
Look, what it is that there's a word called muzzle, and I put the definition there, and I said, don't let anybody silence you. Find your voice. And
Right.
so Pastor Ruth
Yeah.
in um, UK had responded and said that somebody told her that they couldn't respond under her thing because you know something to do with she's in some bondage, she can't respond because of what people will say or think or whatever. And then
Oh.
I responded and I said that people want to tell you how to think, how to live, how to
Mm-hmm.
do everything. It's too much. So
Yeah.
if that's the case, come inside me and take over. Because I have my brain. So you use your brain and let me use mine. So we need to change that. Hello, Dachi.
Hi.
She goes, nah, that was perfect. Yeah, yeah, we are tired though. Tired, yeah, but
Mm.
mm,
But then, just 5% depending on who say yeah, bro. 95% you who say yeah.
well, Amajo, they choose to be there. If they want to, they'll start. If you get the memo, you start to inch yourself slowly out of your bondage. So if
Yeah.
you don't want to get the memo, then stay there. You don't know how long you have to live on this earth. Or boom. Yeah.
Hmm.
Or she's therefore to say they cannot respond to a post because of what others on her page will say. Yeah. Oh
No.
God.
No.
That's not being free. Yeah.
I'm listening to everything. Hey.
If you have no brain of your own. Yeah, exactly.
On your
Mm.
exactly.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, to us.
Okay, so yeah. Um the actually let's go for a commercial break and come back. Yeah.
Let me deal with these banners. Take them off. Take them off. Where are we? So we're back. That is the book, Reflections for a Thirsty Soul. Go to Amazon and get your copy. It'll bless your life.
Yes. Okay,
Get
so
it,
the
get it as a Christmas gift for someone.
mm-hmm.
Hmm.
The mental bondage, yeah. So
Yeah.
the third woman is the perfectionist who thinks she'll be loved only when she performs, sees your striving. He knows you. You have nothing to prove to him. He sees you, my dear. So that's God seeing you. Oh yeah, the perfectionist. Well, they I know they start um doing laundry and cooking at boyfriend stage, and it's like it's their duty because they believe in um performing to be loved or providing to be loved. I don't know how to
Hmm.
put it, but yeah,
Impressing.
impressing with their deeds.
Yeah. And sometimes these are people who they're like they have to be better than everybody else. It's like, oh,
Right.
and sometimes the pressure too, it can come from home and the standards, like, oh, this is where we expect you to be, so you have to get there. Anything less. So there's a lot of people, and we're talking about women who are broken because of this pressure from family backgrounds. Because
Yeah.
it can even be to a stage where that your parents will tell you, oh, we are from this, so this is who you should marry. And then they will say, "Hey, come and go, come and go," and that will be it, right? Or academically, oh, I have to be this, I have to do this, I have to do that. I'm smarter than everybody else. So, it's just on and on and on it goes. So, and they can't, like, they're around other people, and I don't know how to explain it. It If they are not careful to, they rub people the wrong way
Mm-hmm.
because of how they look at life. Like, maybe you have this, whatever, but allow other people to be. Maybe
Right.
they didn't have what you have to strive to go to that place. So, Obu or her, they just want to sit in their corner in the gutter there, leave them there. Something they want to come out, right? So,
Well, as you were explaining it, I found that there's a fine line between being confident and being that kind of way, like,
yes,
and trying to shove whatever your standards on other
yeah.
people's throats. Um,
No, I think
going to the front
my
step.
grandmother said that I lived in America, I never listened, only the strong. What did your grandma say? Do this, do this, do that. Oh,
Hmm. But
I'll just read Mama's comment, then you continue.
okay,
I remember when I finally had it and said, too bad. I cannot promise that I'll always have a job. I cannot promise you a perfect life and luxury all the time because there's childbirth, there's illness, and I can't continue to work just to provide luxury, no quality of life and sanity of my own. I had no regrets. Yep, that's
good,
it. There.
very good.
Yeah.
Else you die.
Yeah, it's very hard.
It's a
Even
good
when
thing.
you come here,
It's a good thing
you're
you
always
realize it.
you're
It's a good
always
thing to just realize this and said, ah, no, I don't have to be here, or
yeah.
this is not how I wanted it to be. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's just so good that we have to wake up from our slumber and tell ourselves that no, this I don't want no more. It's self-listening or self-questioning, because if you question yourself and you realize that no, this is not where I want to be, then definitely you make that decision and tell yourself, hey, I need to get out. Enough. And just said, okay, I need a break to myself. Just as Auntie, I wanted to run away to the village and just take a break.
And too, there comes a time in life that you have to find your own way. Are you going to live according to your parents' standards or your own standards? Like, you're an adult now, so you picked from them. But if you allow their pressure to be on you, then you weigh yourself down and you won't live your own life. You're always living somebody else's life,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Like, I don't expect my father to come from the grave and tell me that I should have done this or I should have done that. You know, whatever it is that I'm doing, he's still proud of me. Now today I sleep now I want and eat to look at the no one place.
That's all.
That's a ha ha to the village. That's a guy going to the village. Mm,
We like to place success, I don't know,
mhm,
material things. And
mhm,
oh yeah, I remember when I came to Canada, I was in the mall and I was going to a certain store, and the one with me, she had been in Canada for a long time. And she said, hey, you don't go to that store. And I said, you and who?
Yes, or others.
That's why I shop. I continue to shop there. So we
mhm.
place some kind of standards that we can't even live up to and that's why we end up doing like 4 jobs, and you see we don't have any quality of life, and
Mm-hmm.
you don't have time for your children, although you're working because of these children.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's that all about? And then
Mm.
build a house in Ghana and then you die not enjoying it because you want all
Sister,
the
sister, yeah,
They'll pass you through there. That's your funeral home.
sister, yeah, Russell. You see, it brings us back to the same thing. We live our life for others because we
Mhm.
want others to see. Oh, when they see, oh, when the cars, oh, when you're the buyer. It's more or less like we just want others people to see what we are doing. We not see what we are doing, but others to say yes, this is what we have, or this is what we have achieved, and it's only just to impress others around us and not impressing ourselves. So we took ourselves out of the
Big
equation
fight.
The raw
completely
truth.
and trying to please. Yes.
Mm,
Mm.
Also
I'm
the
sure the
first.
COVID has saved a lot of party people. I'm sure inside they are happy because every week they have to go to a party and they have to go in a designer dress, and they are always returning stuff to the store. Like, why?
Yeah, it's some people's trademark. Yeah. They have to take it to the party, return it, and then take their money back.
Isn't it
A
stressful?
lot of the clothes you wear, before you you realize they don't take the price tag from it. Before they need
Yeah, they use
to
it because
return
they're
it.
thinking about
The past will sleep on their bed.
on
They're
their
always
bed.
at work.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
It's
We are
very
just
sad.
too
Like,
busy living our life for others. Too much. Too busy living our lives. What people will say about us. What are we? How we should impress them and all that. Then it has also uh hasn't helped us in any way at all.
yeah. And
Looking
as
back on our
moms,
shoulder to
like,
see who
the
is looking at us.
quality of
Who else
life,
who's looking at you?
we
Yeah.
don't think about quality. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Hmm. Hmm. So, perfectionist, you have nothing to prove, not to God, not to anybody,
Mm-hmm.
because He already loves you. He sees you.
Yeah.
Maybe welfare to
Oh, like then they give welfare.
True
The men,
woman.
and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Mm-hmm.
but they neutralize the male and they say maybe welfare to.
But women have more power in the system. This system.
Yeah, yeah.
Hello,
And
Pastor P.
oh, hi.
Greetings, Pastor P.
Mhm.
We tend to abuse that too.
Mm.
Hmm. The power that we get.
Mm.
Anyway, is there anything somebody wants to add to their professionist?
Well, I'll say for the younger people coming, right, you have to just teach them to believe in themselves. As in, let me tell you a funny story that I've remembered. So, my youngest daughter just graduated, right? She's a teacher. Originally, she started from engineering, right?
Mhm.
And she decided she didn't want to do it. Come and see my mom. That was 2015. My mom was here. So this girl had just finished, um, she had just finished grade 12 and she was starting. So she
Mhm.
started working at the time, doing the boot camp. And she came back and she said she didn't like it. Come and see this woman. Oh, now this, why? And this and that, talking and talking. Why can't you be an engineer? Because my dad was an engineer. And I said, Mama, listen, this is not about you.
Mhm.
It is not even about me. It
Yeah.
is about what makes her happy. If that's what she wants to do, leave her be. Then one time she comes back and says, oh, even one of her brothers will say, oh, nah, Bachelor of Education, there, what is she, where is she taking that? I said, look, Ghana and Amumu teachers,
Ah.
nurses. No, they've made their standard so high. So I look at her, this is not about you. I can't, this is what she wants to do and she'll do it.
And
Yeah.
it could be her calling. That's
Oh,
what you
yeah.
should um
Yeah.
asking
It's
her
good with
about.
children.
Not
It's good
yeah.
with children. So, I said, no.
I've said it on this platform that a lot of our people are in profession that they didn't want to. So when you get to the hospital and the nurse is yelling at you, she doesn't want to be there. She's not a nurse. She only got a
Mhm.
chance to maybe go to nurses training. That's all. So no matter, I don't know how the training is back home, but no empathy, nothing. If not, if you
Nothing.
are talking to a sick person,
Mm-hmm.
you will respect a
Yeah.
little. But they would rather be yelling at you. Did they want her to be a nurse? No. Opportunity came maybe. Ni auntie be a nursing teacher's auntie. So hey, or no, that's all. A lot of teachers, they are not supposed to be teachers, especially yeah, if you have their teachers. Yeah, you're in Tranco University. How many of them got teachers training college? Teachers are born teachers,
Yeah,
born
that
to be
is
trained or born to teach
work.
teachers. No more.
Mm-hmm.
Almost so I'm born to
Yeah.
teach. You could tell this
No.
one is just enjoying what he's doing.
Yeah.
Majority
Mm-hmm.
enjoy what they are doing.
Yeah.
Just 3 days ago, my boyfriend and I were actually talking about. I just have to say, we were just talking about how here, like it's Christmas time, and the teachers will come out with the idea that buy a candy for your friend, and then you buy a candy cane. Some of them will come with maybe $5, others $10. Buy a candy cane and share with your friend. So we are questioning ourselves. Which of your primary school did your teacher say come and buy a candy and share with your friends? Yeah, I'm sure you're leaving house to share. And I was now realizing that. Can you
Yes.
imagine?
It's true.
It's all about their teacher and person but channel. Me,
Mm-hmm.
well, I would make myself understand. I have a whole lot of cardboard stuff in my bag. I have special bag for those things for kids that I'm teaching. And with those kids, I give them stuff to take home. And these stuff from my pocket. But that is something I can't remember any of our teachers doing because pencil crowd would need be on my mouth. Something I
Yeah.
can't even like. I was like, what was wrong with them? I had the teachers intentionally always said that shopping. And they
Yeah.
give and they teach them how to give. Were we even taught how to give?
Yeah.
It was you're trying our day. Na wodi nkosua mmienu ɛde to wɔn nso na de ba na o teacher no kora fa baako sɛ o maame sɛ baako yɛ me de anaasɛ fanta ne yɛ mmienu ɔsɛ baako that is all they never teach we were not taught how to share that is why we don't know how to give sharing wasn't part of the equation that teaching syllabus I think
Yeah.
if your teacher maybe by the teachers I passed through those tender age, I can't remember any of them were willing to say, oh, and then we need pencil, oh, brabeji,
Mm-hmm.
and then we need razor, brabeji. There was nothing like that.
Yeah.
And there was nothing like, oh, we need here into share. And as a talk and share for children to learn how to share. But there was
Mm-hmm.
nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
There was
I'm a
nothing
you
like
are
that.
right. You are
I
right.
remember.
Because you kind of say, when since I draw not old school her for 6 weeks, right? Into getting to the end, and I said, "Oh, I'm sure you've thought of it that it's getting to Christmas. So better be my teacher, no, no. So yeah, Uncle, yeah, no, yeah, and Kolani, and everybody, little packets. Come and see the gifts this child brought home." And she was only there. That's how the or somebody's mom crap on here and without giving her gifts and this and that.
Watching
Yes,
it.
because they are taught that's what they know.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Let me
Yes.
see. We don't know that. Let me read Mamle's comments. She says, my 11-year-old with nerves told me, but mom, it's what you want though. Why don't you let me be what I want? I have to
Mm.
redirect that you are smart and intelligent.
Yes.
So it's important to encourage you to reach the heights. You are not settling for less. You are more and you will reach out for more. Now we have solidified the thinking. Ha ha ha. ha.
We are
Then
getting there.
Yeah, but today.
No, probably you don't know how to give, no, bruh. I don't know. Maybe
Bravo.
No, it's only taken away from Missy our day. The only time the minimum our day to hold the DD or something. There was nothing like Fabra and Fabeche or Bia say Bia. For example, I will buy a gift for my boys. Okay, this is for the class. It
Mhm.
was something that was common. I learned those things from here. But looking back, I was like, do we? Me see the only time I hear Bibi yourself we are there, dear one day. What do you cause your bad teacher? Mommy TV.
Eh,
There was nothing like
eh,
when you
eh,
need us into
Amajo,
Mommy TV in
make us
Mobi.
intro.
No.
Amajo, make us intro. Me ba me young no see time o so na ye ne ko school a aduane ne so yesi teacher ba ye ni. Yesi teacher no
Okay.
message say we should not try to be somebody else. We should be ourselves. When we try
Yeah.
to live
Yeah.
someone else's lives, we get stressed. This
Mm-hmm.
affects us mentally and physically. You are so right. Because message, a lot of people are broken because of these pressures that were put on them from
Yeah.
parents, from society,
A
because they
lot
don't
we
know how
don't
to
know.
manage their own expectations or to stand up for themselves and say, hey, this is what I want to do, or how this is what I want to be, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Pacho,
Okay.
if you can just summarize some people may have just come on. If you can
Oh yeah.
bring in where we are going to next.
Okay. So the topic was, dear woman, God sees you in your brokenness. And we have talked about the different kinds of brokenness, or the different kinds of broken women. And we started with the tired woman who gives all with and sees no results. And the perfectionist, the abused woman was the second one, emotional and physical abuse. And also to the book tells us that we are worthy, so we should not take abuse, not from anyone, physical nor emotional. And then now we are on the perfectionist who thinks that she can only be loved by doing things for
Perform.
whoever he wants the love from. So, yes. And yeah, and the advice is that you don't have to prove anything, not to God, because He sees you already. He knows you. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. You don't owe anybody anything. Yeah. So the next one is the lonely woman. So if you joined us afterwards and you have anything or any comments concerning the three that we've already talked about, you can put it in the comments below, and we will revisit it.
Mhm.
Yeah. So the lonely woman who feels bereft, no one to reach out to, who puts on a facade to give
Mhm.
the impression that all is well
Mhm.
when it is not. Lonely woman. Sometimes you're in a crowd, but
You
you're
are
still lonely.
Narcos, you are both.
He said
Oh, I
he
didn't see that comment.
said I believed in myself because I was surviving in the home of the brave. America, America man, America, eh?
He said, I'm bold. Love overrated, but dot dot dot. What is the meaning of the dot dot dot? Bold, but
Um,
what? Bold, but still scared. Not bold enough.
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Yes, me.
yeah. I mean,
Are we reading it or we're going on? Okay.
yeah, we're going.
Okay. So lonely woman. Does it mean that the lonely woman, because it says here that no one to reach out to, does it mean that she's like alone, no friends, nothing?
Um, it's not that. It's just that who do you trust with your stuff?
Yes.
Knowing, you know, knowing what we know,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Because there's a statement that I always make that if you're going to put your information out there, do people have the maturity to handle what you are telling them? When you tell them something, oh, that's trees,
Yeah.
like, so we're all laughing, but some people's laughter, you can tell there's something behind it. I don't know, they lack those, to understand or empathize with somebody. And, how are we a people who, do we tell each other our problems? We don't, because of how we are
True.
community. Because when you go, oh, you're a man, you're not supposed to feel this way.
Mm-hmm.
And your wife be abusing you or insulting you, you're not supposed to feel this way. Oh, you so let it go. And we brush it off. It seems like we're afraid of even talking about emotions, anything to do with feelings. We can't handle
Right.
it. Have
Right.
you noticed that?
It's true. It's true. I remember I stopped a house help from telling my son that bemensu.
Thank you.
I stopped her and I said bemensu is on yinipa. Don't ever tell him that. If he's in pain, he cries.
Let
I
it
mean,
die.
yeah. And
We actually
I,
did a topic over this again, but I'll raise it up for the guy who was busy crying. Oh, please come back to me. And their fellow men were laughing at him that he's obaba tete no. I didn't
Mm,
know soon. You see, it's come back to those. We are not allowing them to come out and share their emotions. Then we remember but just say obana tete winti utimi so no bema na tete with the means. Is that not yeah.
I think emotions, it wasn't part of our culture or what. I mean, because even the women in the other
mm.
generation, you have
You have many people around you, but still be lonely. That's the most miserable place to be. Yes.
it is. I was
Mm-hmm.
very lonely in my marriage. It was like I felt alone. I felt like I was single, kind of.
Which one should we read again? This one or your comment? You may have many people around you, but still be lonely. That's the most miserable place to be.
It
Mhm.
is very, very, very. Hmm. It's on a facade to give the impression that all is
All
well.
is well when it is not. Because
Hmm.
sometimes say, okay, you are going through something, but because there are many lonely people in America.
True. Not only in America. Ah.
No, the book. Oh, okay. She said you should. Can you read the lonely part again?
Oh, okay. The lonely woman who feels bereft,
Mm-hmm.
no one to reach out to, who puts on a facade to give the impression that all is well when it's not.
As well, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not only the men. Why is it that we don't show emotions? Like we don't
Don't know. The point you're elaborating.
which one?
Yeah, I'm confused now.
Maybe Auntie, what you were saying, or
Yeah. Let's see. Continue mobile.
true.
Okay, let us also say yes, no. Okay, and Mamle said, yeah, got it. She said she got
Okay,
it.
okay.
Okay. SMP. No, sometimes you've gone through so many things with so many people, so your life just becomes what it is. You keep to yourself, you stay
Yeah,
with to yourself because you've learned a lot from experience. So you don't want to put up with stuff from people or from anybody. And people who come around you, that's all they seem interested in doing, to put you down or do whatever. So if you I think that you need to find one or two good people that you can talk to about things.
yes,
That one is a must. But otherwise, just giving yourself to anybody, no, it's a problem.
yeah, yeah.
Sometimes we see people and we say, oh, these people, they keep to themselves, they are reserved, they are this. We have to understand,
Hmm.
because there's too many issues and too many problems in our community. And if
Yeah.
you give yourself to people too much, then the one person do an image you from.
Count on you, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just because Pastor P says you can be alone but not lonely. Okay. So
Yes.
maybe yeah, okay, some little reasons. Some will use emotions against you and make you the fool. And that's immature too, but it's true. They do that.
Very true. Yeah.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like today I was on one sister's platform, and I think a guy wrote a comment about, oh, I'm a doctor, and I find it, how do I approach women? Because I find it difficult to approach. And you know how we take things as a joke. Somebody wrote, oh, pa, something, the response, and then they were laughing. So I'm saying that
They were
I don't know,
laughing at the
yeah,
comments.
yeah. I don't know. I'll qualify and say I don't know if that person was joking. Maybe they know themselves and he was joking and he wrote that. But
Mm-hmm.
I looked at it and I thought to myself that these are some of the things we do. We can't be open because when you put your open, oh really? Somebody thinks they don't
It's
allow
being
you.
ridiculed. Hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's going back to the comment that Mamle said I put out there. People want to tell you how to feel. So even when
Mm-hmm.
you are putting your truth out there, they come and tell you, no, it should be this. And then they mock you and laugh at you. And that is not right.
And meanwhile, they might be facing the
First of
same
all,
thing, but they don't come out to say
yeah. First of
it.
all,
Yes,
understanding is a
Pastor
problem.
P.
We
Yeah.
don't understand.
Mm.
Never be
Yeah,
known.
that is
Yeah.
true. I understand the alone part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Well,
Mamle said this is called emotional blackmailing. Yeah.
mhm.
And some of there. Mm.
we don't understand a lot. We don't because we don't pay attention to listen. What is he trying to say? What is he telling us?
Mhm.
And then wait to understand what the person is saying. We
Mhm.
just twist it around and make it a mockery.
Yeah,
Another
I
thing
know
that
it.
is also destroying us is that aspect. Because
Mhm.
if we will listen and understand you, then we don't have to make a mockery of everything or
Mhm.
see everything as a joke. You see?
Yeah.
I don't
Earlier,
see
you said
anything
the
wrong
lack
if
of
somebody say I can
empathy. I
approach.
think that's it, right?
Sorry, yeah.
I said
Mhm,
earlier you were saying the lack of empathy because if
Yes.
you're able to
Yes.
put
mhm,
yourself in the person's shoes, there's no way you're going to be
yeah.
laughing at it. It's not funny.
Mhm.
Mhm. Let me read Miss Sage's comments. She said, especially in this day and age of social media, when people tape conversations and throw them out there, people are finding it difficult to confide in others. It
Very
is true.
true. Very true.
Yeah.
It's hmm, the things that you hear. Does that happen to you too? Which one? Which one is he asking?
I don't know. It's emotional reading. Is you talking about what Mamle said? Maybe the emotional blackmailing. I don't know.
Please break it down and we'll answer.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, I also don't have that alone loneliness because I really
Mhm.
enjoy my company.
Yeah. I have things to
Yeah,
do.
when Sean leaves for 2 weeks, I'm here. Sometimes I don't even step out of the door.
Mhm.
I don't want to.
Ghanaians are known for emotional blackmailing. They lack understanding. It's true.
Mm,
One you say, I may you say, oh,
Lack
you
of
say, I'll
yeah,
do this.
lack of
Mhm.
understanding for sure. Yes, Pastor P. That is what it did. Lack of understanding. We don't listen very well, so we don't understand very well.
Mhm.
It's as simple as that.
mm.
Mhm.
Anyway, I don't know why we are so vicious. Like, hey,
Oh.
hmm.
Mhm.
Anyway,
So, maybe
anything we want to add? Lonely woman.
mm.
If not, we'll go to the people pleaser. Famous people pleaser.
Be lonely and don't feel
So the people
lonely.
had to
Just as
please
Pastor P
people.
said.
I said ladies have
Yeah.
special treatment here,
Be
but if you
lonely
step out,
by
do they read your emotions too? I don't get that.
you don't have to read
Women,
anybody's emotion. You only have to
young
understand
men,
what the person
or
is trying to put across. Mhm.
Mm.
okay. The people pleaser try so hard to please people, but to no avail. You also sees your clamoring. He knows who you are.
Mhm.
And people please that they don't know who they are. You know, when you say turn here, they'll turn. Go
Mm.
here, they go. Go right, they go. And so they put a lot of pressure on themselves.
On
Oh, you
themselves.
come tomorrow, we are going to this funeral. Oh, let's go to this person's house. They don't seem to have any mind of their own. They are led by people. If you want
Yeah.
to please everybody, you have to please my husband. Otherwise, he'll be mad at me or he'll leave me. I have to please my children. I have to please my friends. I have to please my mother, my father. What is left of you?
So it means they are unhappy people because they're
There'll
never
be,
able to do
there'll be nothing
what
left.
they want. Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be nothing left.
Maybe they're only doing things. They're only doing things they think that will please others,
Makes
but
people
not
happy.
themselves. Maybe. Right?
And that's it. It's really. It also means that you can't be honest because there's
Hmm.
no way you can
Yeah,
be
exactly. Of course.
a different person
Hmm.
to all people, you know?
That's what it is. Yeah, you are not truthful. Yeah,
Yeah.
you are
Yes,
not
yes.
truthful to yourself. You want to please others.
I say go here, I won't.
Go here. I want.
No, but there are people like that. They are pushed around. You say no for her, like
Follow
something.
me and let's go.
Yeah, the friend says
Mhm.
will come go and do
Come with me,
something.
even if you can. You still say
You,
yes.
you don't want to go. Yeah, so you say
Yeah,
yes because you're afraid of this. You are so afraid of people.
Yeah,
These are people. They are afraid of people.
it's
They're
true.
afraid of human beings. No self-esteem. So there
like
are lots.
those that want to please their friends at all costs. Like those that want to please their friends at all costs, they can't do something like this. So yeah, I have to do it for you.
Mhm.
Then yeah,
That's a sad life to live.
it is. Yeah, that for sure.
It's very
That
tedious.
for sure.
It's a lot of work because even when you're tired,
It
you
is.
have to.
But yeah, it's because they haven't taken the time to find out who they are
Assess
and what they
themselves.
want.
Hmm.
It's just probably from the beginning of life, that's the position they were in. Or here, and not necessarily that, but yeah, okotena or being chain, busuani being chain, then be on pacifying people. Say this,
Hmm.
you never come into your own.
Why Juma ya
Yeah,
suma
nobody,
na wasum signs,
nobody
and no
took the
one
time to
only
find out
It's
who
soon.
you are, what you want, what your needs are. Nobody cares.
yeah,
You're just as a messy. Into to get noticed,
yeah.
you go around making yourself useful to people, trying to please everybody, and
Hmm.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. I see that too.
yeah.
Mm.
But it's sad. It's very
Yeah.
sad.
It is sad. It is sad.
And
People,
they chase after people, they chase after relationships, chasing after men, chasing after this, like put value on yourself, right? Like
Mhm.
place value on yourself. And sometimes if we don't even want to do the hard work of finding out, this is what I know, it's too scary to consider looking at myself to make a change. So
Yeah.
let me just stay here. So if you try to go and help them, then now they attack you viciously. So mm,
Mhm. Okay. Anyway,
anything you want to add?
yes, no,
Mm,
I think I'm good. Anything
I think
anybody
we.
add? Mhm.
Mm, let me see. Okay,
I've forgotten the quotation about people pleasing.
people pleasing. We can we just go up to the go getter and then continue the rest next week, maybe?
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, so the go-getter, um, who has been torn down and shred apart for daring to be different, not fitting what is required of or perceived as womanhood. Yes, shred to bits by her own sisters out of jealousy. He sees you too. He loves you as you are.
Part of that group.
Yes, I know.
That's my main group, and then maybe I fit in a few others.
A few others, yeah, yeah. As I was reading, I said, "Go getter." They know. They know that he sees them. Yep. Daring to be different. Yeah, you
Mhm.
need a certain mindset because you're going to be lashed at.
Yeah.
There'll be all sorts of yeah.
Who does she think she is? DNA, a baby tuna. Pastor P says, we don't try to find our true self, whereby it leads us into self regret and self abuse. Yep,
Yes.
bang
The
on.
root
Mhm.
cause of yeah, most of these because anyway. So they go getter. Daring to be
Yeah,
different. What
every woman have to be a go-getter. Yeah.
But they are not. They are running around in the other areas.
oops.
Ev- yeah. That's what I'm saying there. Every woman just have to try and be a go-getter.
Hmm.
Because once you're a go-getter, you know how to set up boundaries. You know how you want to sell yourself for others to buy it, but rather not to try and just please people, or not
Hmm.
to find fight fight your way for you to be accepted.
Yeah,
If
but
you're a go-getter, you know yourself.
we
Come
are
again,
saying that
Auntie
in this
Menti.
case,
You
right?
said
I
that.
hear what you're saying, but in this case, it's like, oh yes,
Mm-hmm.
Wi-Fi is. Oh, okay. Let me see here. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
My
let me
computer went
remove.
off. So it's
Okay. Hmm.
thanks. Hmm. Yeah, I was
Mm.
Oh,
asking what does it take? Maybe as we read it, someone will be attracted to it, would want to
Mm-hmm.
be
what
a
is it saying?
go-getter.
What is it? I would like
Mm.
you in my ears. What? I don't know what you're saying. Oh, torn down and shred apart for daring to be different. So those people, if you allow that to happen to you, then you go back to being average.
Yes, you will be pulled down again. The pull down syndrome will work will set in.
Hmm. But if you know where you are going and what you're trying to do, you don't pay any mind, you don't pay any attention, and you keep pushing. But the
No,
pushing is what a lot
no,
of us don't
no.
know. We rather want to that you see in our community, we are so interested in what other people are saying about us. So the first time that somebody tries to put you down because you are seen to be a go-getter, it will affect you, and then you can't even move again.
Mm.
And
Mm-hmm.
we do it to each other. Women do it to women, men do it to women, men do it to men. It's just this year we are talking
You're
about
good,
women.
go get and somebody envious you. You are being envious out there because somebody, uh, somebody wished
Yeah.
they are like you, and since they are not, many other saying words have to come in, and then naming
Mhm.
you have to come in. They have to find a way to tag a word to tag you with that is who
Mhm.
you are,
But
and all
this
that.
is the mindset thing too that I'm thinking, why don't we look at the other side, the positive
No,
side, and
we
say,
don't.
oh, hey, this person, they seem to be this, this, this. What can I learn from them? Is it somebody that I could even approach and say, hey, can you help me? I like the way you do your
They
things.
turn
How
out to
can
be
you?
people that do not see anything. Yeah. You turn
Oh,
out to be people
Amado.
that do not want to see anything good about anything.
Yeah.
You see, even because I'm always saying we are in a country whereby even if something is bad, it be a and then cry, they try to see something beautiful about it. But in our case, it's not like that. You see,
But this is the year 2020.
yeah,
Isn't
who
it
be
rather sad?
What?
So we're
oh
having
yeah,
these conversations when
this
people
Oh,
are going to the moon to explore and do things. We are still sitting here, but we're yet in we are
no,
kind of stuff.
the, yes, 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 we are, and this COVID-19 has proved it a lot. this COVID-19 bringing us to the social media, listening to others, and paying attention to others has actually taught me, for instance, has actually taught me a lot.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm still questioning myself. Uh, are we? Is it who we are, or is is the media? Is it really who we are? This is a question I keep asking myself.
It is.
Really, is that how far we have come? You know,
Hmm.
Do you know what I see all the time?
we don't
Insults,
see.
insults,
Mm,
insults. That's all. Insults.
that's all we know. That is
So the
all we know.
mindset,
Even
the
those of
mindset.
I, they certain things I heard. I think as soon as Facebook released me, the first thing I wrote was, "Are we actually practicing what we preach?" A lot out there are talking and talking and talking. Are we practicing what we preach? But just about 3 days ago, the things that I heard, I was like, really? And this is how they come out to say, do this and do that. For those of us that are claiming we are knowledgeable and this is what we want to put out there, like, really? Is that what we are doing? Are we treating each other right? Are we? Come on
Hmm.
now. We are just too. The full me
I
down
don't know.
syndrome is in all of
You
us.
know, yes, you know something? I feel that we're all different people and we all have
Mhm.
different strengths. Okay. So I may have some
Yeah.
strengths that you don't have, and you have something I don't have. We need to have the maturity to be
Mhm.
accepting of each other. We are not clones. We were not made the same way. So
Yeah.
you can't expect somebody to act the same way as you, or like
You want
you can't
exactly.
prescribe a certain standard of behavior. You
It's
can't.
elephant to me. I don't like red. You like red. I don't like blue. You like blue.
Mm.
I mean, it should be
But
like
the
that.
thing
But
is, we have to understand that
do we have
everyone's
to
understanding is different. Mhm.
do we have to insult each other and be enmity of each other simply because I'm not at your side? I don't. You
Look,
don't have to be on my
Amajo,
side for us to see things the
the
same
problem
way.
is that there are people who feel they have all the answers, and
Mm-hmm.
there's no room for anybody else to have an opinion or have an answer, and that is wrong. Everybody does their things differently, and you need to respect what somebody does. But just because somebody is doing something does
We
not mean you
don't.
start lashing out at them.
Th-
I may not choose
This
to do it
election
that way,
and
but if they are doing it, power to them.
with this
What is it to
election
me?
and
What
the
am I losing?
things,
Well, I don't want to talk about
yeah, and
elections
the
for
things that
anybody.
they were saying about each other. Yeah,
Mm,
we I was I was blocked. I couldn't comment. I couldn't say anything. But I was just. But I was. This is not how it should be. It's fine if you
mm,
laugh blue. Let me laugh black. It's we are human. That is what makes it human. But unfortunately, I don't know. It's some of it is very depressing, very
mhm,
disappointing.
mm.
It's very very inhuman. The
It
things they
just
say
tells
about
me,
each other. They
yeah. So going back to the point of being with in the society, there doesn't seem to be room for people who want to be go-getters. Anytime you're trying to strive to do something a certain way,
no.
somebody has to come because we're expected to all
Hmm.
think the same way. But how is that? We are not living in our countries of origin. We are in a different place. Everybody is trying to live their lives. Leave them alone. Why do you come and tar me
Yes.
with your values and whatever? Are we over there? We are not. We are here. Free expression is allowed. So why do you go and jump all over somebody?
They will jump on you and lynch you. The things they say. I've been saying it. We have replaced freedom of speech to a different level. As for democracy, we
So we
have
are
destroyed
judging
it to the
people. We
core.
are
Me,
judging
I
people.
wish Ghanaians,
Mm.
as Ghanaians, we shouldn't even be democrats anymore. The democracy should go away. We should be depressed. The indiscipline is just too much everywhere
Amadio,
for
let's
everybody.
continue with our topic about women. We are not doing politics. Please,
I just have to bring it. It was just too
no,
much on us.
please,
Mm.
no. It's like we have to change our minds. Like I don't know. maybe you have to be
Yeah.
affected by this before you understand what we mean and what we are talking about. Because the thing is that you came from somewhere and you've come here to make a life. It's not just about you.
Mhm.
These things that we are talking about and doing here, it affects our children. What examples are you giving them? You should be encouraging your girl child to be a go-getter, be the best that they can be. Help them to grow themselves, help them to have the right mindset. It's not just about you. We become so into ourselves. So I wonder, so if you are sitting on social media fighting, argue, what are your daughters learning?
Hmm. I don't think they care.
Anyway,
We
yeah, carry
forgotten,
on.
Auntie, yeah, we totally forgotten that we have generation that are coming. We have
Mm,
generation that are looking at us, and everything that we are doing, they are copying. We have completely forgot about that.
mm.
We are just doing things for doing sake. That's what we are doing.
Amajo, she said, first
Nobody
thing,
cares.
Amajo, listen to Pastor P. Follow her advice, okay? Think about yourself and don't let politics affect you. Leave it alone. Let's carry on.
It's not affecting me. It's actually disturbing me how we have taken it to the way whereby we have to turn out to be so much inhuman to each other. That's all.
Only that you have the word BS
It has
detector.
made it be
I've been
things
here
we
for
don't.
here so long. I won't spend time on the negative. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like the BS detector.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um.
well, yeah. If you don't have anything to add, we can wind up and then we'll continue the rest. There's about five more types of women to go through next week.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
it's looking like if you want to be a go-getter, you first need to know who you are.
Nana could say you like Amajo too much.
So that he likes my English.
Know who you are so that
Mhm,
it will be easy to fight whatever things that may come your way, opposition. And it looks like in all the brokenness, that's the main theme underlining factor. You
mhm,
know who you are.
mhm,
Because if you know who you are, you would know your worth. And yeah, I mean that's all I wanted to add.
mhm. How about you, Amajo?
Uh, when we started knowing who we are, we should also learn how to listen to each other. We should try
Mhm,
to understand ourselves, and we should try to embrace other people's feelings and their actions and what they want to tell us. I think if we do that, then we will start understanding how where we are lacking and where we are not lacking.
mhm,
Because most of the talking we talk about this evening are things that we are lacking from so badly. It's affecting us every day, each every day, most of our lives. So we have to learn ourselves, just as Sister Ya said. But after learning ourselves, we have to be people that want to make difference. And giving up differences, meaning we are also trying to listen to others and seeing things from their perspective and not on our perspective, and
mhm,
trying to respect them on whatever they want to put across. In that case, they don't feel lonely or they don't feel like they are doing too much. We should also try and be supportive uh, enough, or we shouldn't feel like we are doing too much and there is none coming from the other side. If you're doing too much and you think none is coming, then and talk about it. Be bold enough to say it so others may listen. And what else? We should strive for perfection. So by striving perfection, meaning we have to come back and learn and learn and do. I mean, know ourselves, and maybe in that way we can understand each other better.
mhm.
Otherwise, it's I don't know. It's a difficult. It's quite difficult out there right now. I would say if you put anything across out there, it, it's and we are 100. It's like 95% of that do not seem to understand anything, and the 5% of us that think they know, they are also proving to know they know too much. So we are stuck in the middle. But we said a lot. So hey, if you watch this video, pick up your side and
Mm.
work on yourself as well.
Yeah, so we've said a lot this evening, and it's just to, like I said at the beginning, for me, I find relationships with women very difficult, especially in our community, just because of some of the values and the mindsets that we hold, that we need to come to a better place of understanding each other as women and how we can encourage and support each other instead of tearing each other down. Because when you are younger and things happen to you, you may not understand or have the discernment to figure it out. But now that you are older, in looking at some of these personality types that we've looked at, it helps you put it in perspective that, oh, okay. I mean, we all know that basically if you are at fault, you know, and you own up to whoever. But basically speaking, to you have yourself in these situations where our own women will come at you and try to put you down. And if you have the wherewithal, you can say, "Hey, it's not me. This is how they. It's coming from them, and it's something that they have not it's something that they have not done. Look, we are not nobody is perfect. We all have still have work to do on ourselves, and some more so than others, some too are unwilling to. But unfortunately, those that are unwilling, they affect those who are doing the work too. So somehow you need to find yourself and how you can stand without letting these things affect you or influence you. So we'll continue with the rest. There's about five different types or six that we have to go through. So we'll do that next Sunday, and then we'll take a break until probably middle of January. So, and if I'm a Joe and I feel up to it, maybe we'll come during we'll come on Thursday and do something. Otherwise, if you don't see us, then it will be Sunday. So we thank you for coming. Let's see. Message. Thank you, Mamle, Pastor P. Nako say.
Until we come your way again.
Yes.
Adios.
If I've
See you
missed
after
you,
now. Bye. Have a good week
good
ahead.
night. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.